do this thing.
Unnamed. Tell me what.
Well, are we going to introduce ourselves first?
Oh, are we?
Maybe I think we should. Because otherwise they're going to go, who are these clowns?
Cool.
Why should I listen to them?
Well, I mean, I always fake these things because I fade in when we actually start talking.
I like that. Yeah, okay. All right, let's just do that. I'm down with that.
No, professional voice now. So, hi, I'm Brine. I like moonlight walks and I don't know, alcohol. I don't know. What are we talking about here? Like I write games and I do podcasting and I talk to people like Wightbred.
Hey, I'm Wightbred. I have been designing games for many years. Didn't publish most of them. Put out my name toolkit a while ago, or our name toolkit. We came up with as a group, and just loving playing it. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about some stuff that we're doing now and some other stuff. Experiences. Yeah. Fact. Great.
And I suppose, yeah, because I stole some shit from Named for my game. I also essentially run Named, but not really. I mean, we'll talk about that later. That we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But like,
but also this is all about stealing, right? This whole thing is we're stealing bits from other people and using it for our folk art play.
Entirely. Oh yeah. Is that the new cool term that all the cool kids are using?
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
People use it. I like folk art. It's like you do it at home with your mates. You hate it, do you? Okay.
No, I don't hate it. I don't hate it, but like I play folk music, but like so it's kind of like
yeah.
It's a
but it's like a band, right? It's like getting a band together. There's a parallel there.
That is a fact. So now we're jumping all over the place.
Yeah, but this is us. Like, so this is going to happen. So people are going to have to get used to it.
Yeah,
we have a structure though. We wrote down 3 dot points, so we're very organized.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's. I do want to get back to the band thing because,
I'm putting it down on the list. Band stuff. Yeah, it's noted.
So you released with a little bit of nudging and help from me, barely any. A zine named, ironically, weirdly, Unnamed. So I didn't ask you where. I mean, obviously, I kind of know where you got the name, but I kind of don't know where you got the name. What just kind of popped up?
So there's 2 reasons. One is because I've got a toolkit called Named. I wanted to be clear that the things I'm putting in Unnammed Worlds are not named. So Unnamed seemed funny. And the other thing is, I mean, when we play, we just walk into like I was setting up a game with one of my mates the other day, and this is what we agreed for all of the prep work for the game: pirates. That's it. Right? The world doesn't have a name. We don't know anything about it except pirates, and then go. So
yeah.
You just don't need. It's also about you don't need. Depending how you play, you don't need to have a name for the world. You just need to start playing, and then maybe a name comes to the world. So yeah, it's just about just be chill and let it evolve. We should say up front though, like play any damn way you want. Like
of course,
do whatever style you want. We don't care, but we have a similar style.
So
to each other.
I wanted to. I'll just poke at you with this. So, are you the pirate game? Was it with just one person, or you running duets?
Yeah.
Or? God, I love.
No, it was a pickup game because another game was cancelled, but then the game wasn't cancelled. But literally, we were chatting before him. What are we going to play? Pirates? Great. That's the whole. There's no what system, what. Just pirates.
Yeah, and so the other thing you talked about. I'm trying to look it up here. I'm trying to be a cool podcast host. In my game, and it took me a second, but I came up with rule 0, and of course I put it in a numbered list starting with 0. that I've used before on Reddit to because people always need permission, but it's 0.
Yeah.
By the powers vested in me, which are none, I give you permission to do anything,
Yes.
change anything, or ignore anything that results in a better game for you and your players forever.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
pretty much it for me. That's it started off under GM advice. And I'm like, fuck that. This is the only GM advice I really need to
No.
give anybody. And
But also GM advice implies that the GM is a magical, has special powers. They're just running the world. It's not
representing the world. Yeah. It's right. Like
representing the world. Yeah.
and that's kind of a key thing that you and I keep bumping into. And I think it's, and it gets to the thing that we don't like. I'm pretty sure, GM fiat, and it's just dumb. It's your table, man. You're right. Like
Yeah.
GM runs the world, and the players are of the world, right? Or like the characters are of the world. But you're together in this whole thing. You're all the world, right? Like so, the table is the game.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
don't
I
believe
did.
in GM fiat.
Yeah, I wrote this thing. There's another zine coming out, Play Worlds, soon. And I wrote this thing for the first issue, and it was I think it's called Worlds Without Rules, and it's basically imagining a world in which role playing grew from storytelling instead of war games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a conversation
Yeah, it's
that you
storytelling
add
around
rules
the fire,
to.
right?
You don't. Yeah, you start with the conversation. I think that's where you and I come from. We start with the conversation, then we add rules to the conversation. So that you've got dice rolls or random elements like you do with Rando that we're adding to that conversation because that's more fun. Whereas I think a lot of when you look at the way D&D started, it was essentially a group of war gamers who started to go into role playing. So of course it comes with everyone needs stats, and everyone we need all these stats and rules and kind of things. Yeah, but I think you kind of started there and add role playing on top, or do you start playing roles in a conversation, like telling stories to each other and adding rules to? And I think if you take it from that side, you just feel like things like a GM is why why do you think this is special? This is just a person in the convo, yeah. Whereas in a war game, you had a referee, and so it takes on the role of it's where it's come from that really drives that. And there's a lot of fun to be had in complicated rules and all that crap. I played that for years and loved it, but and more power to people who want to do that. But yeah, I want to come from the conversation side and get cracking. Yeah.
Well, and we get to talk about the shit that we're digging now, right? Like, I think we talked about this on a Reddit thing. But it's like, D&D got me into the game, into the hobby, right? Like, but through running it, I just thought I was failing. I just thought I sucked at it, which is like that's the I can't think of a thing, but that's like the call of the game designer, right? Like, well, fuck this. I'm just gonna write my own.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been doing that for too long. It took me too long to get to where I'm at now. But this is the reason for Unnamed Worlds. That's a good segue. This is the reason for Unnamed Worlds. Now I've designed something that fits all of my needs perfectly. I have this brain that is still ticking with design and that sort of stuff. I just got too much energy, so I just need an outlet. So instead of designing systems, I'm just writing up interesting worlds, that other people might use, sparks. So I think what we've got in there is we've got a couple of what we're calling quick starts, which is in the issue 1, which is basically just enough through like 3 pages of text, just enough to get you pumping into something interesting. Just enough so you could start a game with, here's some characters and here's some, we kind of know who they are and where we're going, and we know a bit of the tone and the genre of what we're doing, and just go. And then the next thing we got is some fiction from you and Brine and me, just because I think, a lot of things that we do in role playing are sparked by fiction. Like you're playing Star Wars, it's simple, everyone understands and whatever. So I think fiction's a really powerful thing to do. So we put in some fiction in. And then just some tools, just things, non-system specific tools. So we'll be putting your magic system in the next one, which will be about magic, the next issue.
Cool.
I'm writing something for that too. Maybe we'll talk about magic later. And then just like an adventure or something like that, a world, an adventure, something long form. And then that's pretty much it. Oh, I think there's an open license in there, but I don't know. My lawyer said to put it in, mate. I didn't really read it myself. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that's the thing. And it's just, I mean, it's you, me, and Paulo, right? But I've done the first one, but I've got a bunch of people helping out with the next one and next few.
Cool.
And hopefully more people get interested and just say, hey, I can write 250 to 500 words of fiction, and we chuck it in and other people can enjoy it.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, my pushback on you was like most of the, like the zines I've read from community zines are usually just like a hodgepodge of garbage. Not maybe it's good, but like it's just like I don't know what this is. I don't know what to do with this, and that's why I was like, oh yeah, Unnamed Worlds, that makes sense to me because it's kind of what we do, right? I liked the idea of Unnamed Worlds because that is kind of the recent games we've played have a little more meat than pirates, but we're literally doing a podcast right now where you were like, oh, let's do the podcast right now. It's like, so you basically just said to me podcast. And so now, cause we haven't discussed what we were going to do really. And so doing that cause we don't care.
Yeah.
This
is like the whole principle of play, right? You just play. Like, don't
totally.
Like, yeah, but you don't have to find the perfect system. You can just play. I mean, man, if you want to get the perfect system and whatever, knock yourself out. But just play, like just do the thing. Yeah. But I think the important thing I think the important thing is I've got the name toolkit, which is 270 pages, something like that. And I was going to do something like that, and you just said to me, "Why don't you just do a thing?" And it was just, like,
make it
because I'm trying to make 250 pages of perfect worlds, and I'd rather chuck something out, get other people interested, see what else other people have got to put in, see if it sparks any conversation.
Well, I mean, I said and sadly, not sadly, but like, I don't really care. I'm not shitting on people's fun, even though I guess I am a little, I don't mean to be, but like a 200-page zine is not a zine. It just isn't. Like,
no.
Under 50 pages would be nice. I don't think you made it.
No, this is the thing, right? A zine compiled is perfect, right? So we do 4 or 5 issues, and I'll chuck them into a big book. I get what I want, which is a book I can pull off the shelf, flick through, and go, "I'm doing this one." Go, and everyone else gets to see stuff. And when it's like doing drafts, fractional drafts of the big book for me. That's perfect. That gets me where I want to be, but gets some exposure to people. Yeah. Do you know the most exciting thing though? I mean, I got to say, Paulo's record is just a sweet adventure. So strong.
Played it.
Yeah.
He ran it for me.
That's right. Yeah.
I was like,
he plays it. We've run it a few times, but I haven't played it yet. But it's pretty sweet. Yeah. But the most comments apart from that I got were about that damn thing my lawyer wrote. So whatever. I guess I'll have to read it.
So this is just a bit we're going to keep doing, isn't it?
What are you talking about? It's not a bit. This is legit.
Yeah, no. Well, I didn't read it either because I was like, open license? Fuck that. I don't care.
Okay, so I think we talked about this. So I think the only other thing I wanted to cover in my extensive notes on this was next issue's magic, right? So that's a good segue. Let's talk about magic, because we're going to put your toolkit. What do you call it? Tool set.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
care.
do you want to talk about that?
Well, yeah. So I'm calling it a game because I built it to run a specific world I have. I have a big old hex crawl of crazy, and I wanted a magic system that felt magical. And it was, God, that was a bitch. That was like years to figure out. So I've been playing through it solo. I did my first solo session this week of all time, and it's cool. And I'm discovering stuff about it too, which is cool. And I'm just kind of editing it because these are unpublished. I mean, I published them. I put them on my blog. I put everything on the blog for free because I don't care. If I publish it, maybe in the future, I don't know. But yeah, magic that seems magical. That was a rough one. You read through it. Did anything jump out at you? What were you thinking?
I like the way you've combined the tarot into it, because you need a spark, right? Mm-hmm. Because the problem, I agree, the problem with magic, and I wrote some magic in the name toolkit. The problem with magic is, if I say pirates, you understand everything about that world, pretty much, right? Bit of tone could be different, bit of whatever, but we're talking about ships with cannons. You can go on Wikipedia, look how far a cannon could fire, right? Everything's kind of known. And then you say pirates with magic, and suddenly it's like, what can I do with magic? You know, like yeah. I mean, you can have worlds which aren't as defined as pirates. You know, like you can have worlds like how far does a laser cannon shoot or whatever. But even if you say Star Wars, right, you have a picture, or Star Trek, you have a picture of what that is. But Star Trek with magic, well, what? What is the magic? I don't, like it's a new and undefined thing. I mean, I suppose if you say Star Wars, you go Star Wars with Jedi. Well, I pretty much know what Jedi can do, so we're good. Yeah,
we're good.
But yeah, you need to. I think there's two parts. One is you've got to somehow define what's possible, and the other thing is it's got to be freaking magical. And
it's impossible to do.
It's the biggest challenge in role playing. How do you make something defined and creative and not defined? And I think tarot is a clever way to do it.
Yeah. So a lot of it came down to like riffing off, because it goes back to named, right? Because you filled in a lot of the blanks for what I needed. I needed names, right? Like, and names, everyone's like, oh yeah, I've played tag systems. So what, dumbass? And it's like, that's not exactly what this is, right? Like, and so that's why in my game, I actually fleshed out and gave some prompts for, things that you and I talk about at the game. But like, my favorite, the one that hits me the hardest is what do people whisper about you? Right? Like what are you known as in the world? And it is all world based, right? Like who are you in the world is how I start my game. And that's exactly what got me there. Names. That was I was like, okay, that's cool. But then the other thing, and these are the two things that everyone should steal for their game if people were asking me, is reflections. And in reflections, what you do, we go around the table and everyone, player at a time, and talk about what they did in the game, and do we need to upgrade these names? Did you add a name? Did you change a name? Should we pun a name because it's just you're not playing it that way? And therein lies your ability to I want to call it I almost want to call it like growth. It's like character growth, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's cool.
Yeah. But it's growth every which way you want, right? Yeah. And I think this is the thing. It's taking what you would talk about as mechanics and turning it into conversation. Yeah.
Into narrative.
And I think that's and I think that's very powerful. I had someone just before we got on the call, someone was asking me, hey, how do you do flashbacks.
Yeah.
And that's a perfectly valid question. I've got some things I wrote on flashbacks in the toolkit, whatever.
Yeah.
But with the answer to a lot of these questions is we just do it. Like, you know,
just be like,
I want a flashback.
It's a month ago. Yeah, like that's
yeah. And I think
it's a logical question, though.
It's a logical question. It's a very logical question, and I totally get where the person who asked is coming from. But the trick is, I think we have, because we came from a war game base, we've got this kind of perception that you need to pay. You need to pay to do that. There needs to be a cost.
Mm.
And I guess the question I ask is, does there? Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I would have never gotten to that point, right? Like,
yeah, we need challenges for the characters, 100%. But if the character, I don't know. Look, so there's a scene from a game last night. Oh my god, I'm talking about my games. This could end badly. We could be here for 2 hours. But I'm playing a 16-year-old eeler. Like he catches eels in a feudal Japan setting. That's his job. And they're kind of gone into the world, and they've encountered some people doing some bad stuff, and they're engaged with those people. I mean, they're representatives of the shogun, so it's a bit fraud, whatever. Anyway, last session he killed someone for the first time, and that's gut wrenching, and beautiful names from Reflection to but I had one of the other characters saved him by running out of the bushes, and we're 16-year-old kids, right? And the guy who ran out of the bushes is a pacifist. That's one of his names. Like he's literally a pacifist, and he struck the samurai from behind with a branch and was brutally murdered. But gave my character the opening to kill the samurai, because a 16-year-old kid fighting samurai, no hope.
Not going to happen. Yeah.
Anyway, so I took the person who died's body up to water, and I have a name, Water Child, because I'm an eeler, right? Catch eels, I get into the water a lot. And I just put his body in the water, and I said, what I want to do is I want to summon the spirits to like take his body away, right? Because we had to flee, and we couldn't bury him properly. We couldn't do any of the rides.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to do that. There's no rules for that. There's no, whatever. And Milo, the GM, just went, that's cool. We're doing it. And I want to point out, this is not rule of cool we're talking about here. It kind of is in a way, but it's not that. It's just like what makes sense in the world and the fiction of the world.
Yeah.
And, then the way my character did it was, So there's this thing about, does there need to be a cost for my character to do that? Why would we have a cost? Like what's the benefit? There's a cost if I try and kill a samurai and I'm not up for it. 110% there's a cost for that.
Yeah.
We were sitting on die rolls that meant my character was dead,
Yeah.
But didn't turn out that way. So we're playing, every die roll matters a hell of a lot. But that doesn't mean you need to make a die roll for everything,
No.
Yeah.
Only if it's going to be interesting, or like if there is a cost, or if it could go bad, basically. It's like, or if you're
don't look for costs.
It's done.
Don't look to charge people admission. Put real challenges in front of them and let them overcome them however makes sense, and have die rolls reflect the problems that they would encounter.
And so back to magic, I mean, part of this is I have to explain named, at least the names part, because that's how I was running magic then too, because I wanted to bring that conversational aspect of it, because I don't want, I don't want to be thinking about how many spells I can, because a mage can just do magic, just do it.
Yeah.
And so, there are various things that requires too, because you have to think about like, how is this going to work? But the conversation, the tarot card, how I bring tarot card in, it took forever. That's the hard part, and I call them burdens.
Yeah.
And burdens are like, whatever. I guess I don't know if I want to explain it exactly, but The burden is, it represents, if you're a mage and you feel a spell failing, you can instead say, no, fuck this. I am going to take on a burden and make it succeed instead. And the burden is a tarot card represented by, that's the burden you have to the world to replace the balance. And that of course, like that's that earthy kind of vibe, right? Like, but I wanted a mechanic to do that, because without it didn't make any sense, right? Like, but then the tarot card is a tarot card, right? Like, you're not like, oh, I know what this means, right? Like, there's the discussion again, right? Like, it's a little bit, and I've riffed off of Devil's Bargains a little that way, and I thought it made sense, and it turns out it does. I'm still, we're still working on it, but like, that's where that comes from.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's just, it's a little bit of, right, because like in Named, and just kind of the way we play is everything you do kind of sparks the next thing you could do, right? Like, you're building off of that. And so a burden in that case makes a lot of sense, because it could be a quest, or it could be, it could be a cost, right? Like, that you have to pay back. But it's really just like, okay, well, here's some fodder for the GM if we can't think of anything, or we discuss it at the table, right? Like, what do you think this is? What do you like, how do you think this? And that would be great at reflections, even, right?
And I think that's the other part of this, is players are quite prepared to pay the cost.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the cost is delicious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like early on, I didn't want to lose. Like, when I was playing first D&D, like, you don't want to lose, but then you're like, no, losing is you're playing this wrong. Losing is the fun part.
No. Yeah. The player whose character died in the session last night was extremely happy. We enjoyed the session tremendously. There was no, his character died. He was happy that was an appropriate thing for his character to have happened to his character.
Yeah.
And, he moved immediately on to a new character, and we cracked on,
Of course.
I mean, it doesn't not feel tense. It still feels tense. It just, it's a conversation. I don't know. It's not a war game where your pieces get taken out of play.
I had a thought on this just recently come up, because it's like, you don't want characters to die from some stupid trap that they don't really care about, right? That they're not invested in, because that would probably make me mad. Like, you just killed my character for what? Like, a stupid booby trap? That's kind of dumb. But a lot of people probably wouldn't, like that, like those kind of aggressive stakes for things that I didn't do. That's kind of lame. But like, if I hit a samurai with a broom and I'm a kid, like, I'm gonna die, I'd be like, good death, fucking cool,
good death. Yep. He knew what he was doing, and he did it.
The character,
and everyone went. Character chose it, appropriate for the character. Yeah, it was a beautiful character, but that character completed their full arc in 3 sessions, or 2.5 sessions. Good.
Yep.
But a very memorable character. We were raving about it as we did reflections, because just. Yeah, he had this beautiful thing where his character was a coward but wanted to be the center of attention. And so he had these 2 poles that he was constantly pulling him, and so when the samurai first appeared, he ran, and then he came back because he wasn't the center of attention, and they died. Awesome. It was just such a great character, Anyway, and hugely, it had a huge impact on the direction of the campaign in his 2.5 sessions. Huge changed course dramatically. I'm really excited about what you're doing, and I'm excited we've got it in there. I'm trying to build another magic system because they're fun to try and build. So I did one recently. Yeah, I did one recently for, I think it's coming out in Play Worlds number 2, which is probably going to be next year. But it's very Earthsea vibes. So
cool.
Yeah,
I want to see how that one goes. Because mine is different. It's very different. A little bit of Earthsea, but it's a lot of Jonathan Strange kind of vibe.
Yeah. Mine's a little bit of Earthsea with a lot of Minecraft, which is weird as hell. I'll send you a copy.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to
But
check it
anyway,
out.
the magic,
Of course.
magic system I'm going to try and build for Unnamed Worlds 2, well, I'm halfway through, is I'm trying to build a modern one that suits kind of triangle agency / unknown armies kind of games. And there's triangle agency, amazing concept. The rules are part of the game in the sense that they're designed to turn you into a bureaucrat, and that's super cool and awesome, except I'm not interested in that particular experience, but I love the world and I want to play the world. And people will say, you're not getting the full world if you don't play the bureaucracy. I'm comfortable that we can get the tone of the bureaucracy in games. We recently played a corporate retreat as one of our games. Like the characters in a corporate retreat. We can do that. We can do a bureaucracy without bureaucracy rules.
100% you can.
It was a corporate retreat to turn into horror, but it was really good. And the other thing, so really cool world and really cool concepts, but it's the rules, the mechanics, just I'm not going to engage with that. My players aren't going to engage with that. It's too much for them. They wouldn't play. We'd much rather get cracking with using name. And the other thing I really like is Unknown Armies. Have you read or played Unknown Armies? It's really cool. So it's kind of you're a spellcaster or a magic user. I don't know what they're coming. Adepts, I think they're called something, whatever they're called. They basically use magic. But you have this tension in your character between something to if you're a Plutomancer, you need to collect money, and getting money generates charges, and you can use that for magic. But if you ever spend any money, you lose all your charges. So it has this kind of thing where you're into something, but you can't do what normal people do with it. Like you collect books, but heaven forbid someone borrows a book, or like you're into historic sites and stuff, but you have to be first there, and so it's very kind of intense. It's got this kind of really interesting balance. The problem is it's got the thing that it really annoys me in games, which is it's got a meta currency, which is how many spell points have I got?
I won't do. Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Yeah,
it kills the magic. That's
I'm
not
gonna
magical
try. So I'm trying to build something between those two things without meta currency. So let's see if I can pull it off.
That is kind of what I did, right? Like, So it's not.
I'm doing something different,
huh?
Yeah, but I agree. That's what you did. You threaded the needle. Yeah. But I'm trying to do it differently.
Hard too, though. Like, So, but like for mine, it's you. Well, okay. My cat he is very upset. Your mages ask favors of the world, and that's basically the magic system, right? Like, so it kind of you don't have to. There's no currency. You are a mage. You should be able to cast spells whenever you want. Now, like how that works and how big they are, I have some mechanics in there to kind of not to like nerf them, but like this is just what you can do. And as I'm playing it, I'm like, half the battle is coming up like, well, cool, what can I use in the world, like air or earth or stars or what, like whatever it is, how am I using these things? And that gets really fun because you have to think. It doesn't nerf you except for your imagination, right? Like, and that's kind of cool.
Yep.
And then you're asking
and I think
questions, right? Like, what's around? Is there? Are there vines around, or like what can I use? Right? Like that's pretty cool.
I agree. I think this is part of the core. One of the reasons I moved away from, I guess more trad styles of gaming is the combat was just. I mean, you can try to make the most evocative descriptions of it that you want, but basically you're going from the fiction of the world to the mechanics, and then they're getting a mechanical outcome, and then having that everyone knows and wrote on their sheet.
Yeah.
And, in terms of hit points or whatever. And then you have to translate that back into the fiction. So you have this weird thing where you're going, it's all fiction, and then it's mechanics, and then we're going back into the fiction. And so you have these things where, if it relies on people, saying these things, which everyone kind of goes, well, that's just window dressing on the result. We already know, right? So who cares?
Mm-hmm.
But also people really didn't use the world. And the first time I played Black Box decades ago, where I just said, okay, you guys are knights. I'm using rules behind the screen. I'm just using D&D.
Yeah.
3rd edition or whatever it was.
Yep.
You guys are knights. And they started to do things using the fiction of the world way more. Like one knight was riding along, he said, I'm going to turn my land sideways to knock the guy off, because I really want to unhorse him at this point. And so I'm prepared to take the hit from him and unhorse him as long as I get to unhorse him. You see what I mean? Devil's bargain. Yeah. So, and I still remember everything that happened in that fight from decades ago, because I can't remember any of the individual fights in the games before or afterwards, because they just use the world. And I think there are games like Fate that kind of try to say, like you're in a library, so the bookcase can give you a plus whatever.
Yeah.
And again, I think you're getting the mechanics in the road of the
anytime
fiction.
You use numbers, I'm out. I'm like, no numbers.
Yeah, because I think you can just have the fiction, right? And you can just say, well, I'm going to topple. There's a bookshelf there, right? I'm going to topple it on him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's roll. Let's go. Let's see if that happens. Let's see how bad that is.
Are you strong enough?
See if he gets out of the road.
Leverage? Yeah. Are you using fictional positioning? Or do you have any leverage? Literal leverage, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And I think if you're playing that way, it's like a conversation. People call bullshit if you go and, like often when I play, I say to my characters, does this character have a gun? And because we don't really do equipment beforehand, we just lean into it and I go, I don't think they would, because blah, 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 blah. And I go, I assumed this character would, but if they don't, great. No sweat. You've thought it through. Like, yeah.
Well, that's the names, right?
Yeah. So anyway, bringing that back to Magic.
Yeah, cool.
What's that?
We're all over the place. But I was just going to say, the black box thing is cool. So like Arneson and that sort of thing, where part of it bugs me. Like, I don't like that. That's where the GM fiat can creep in and bullshit. But like what you're describing is absolutely the reason you would want to do that. But here's the rub to me. Just create a game that is all that.
Exactly. And that's why you don't need D&D behind the screen. You just do all of it.
Here's all of it. We designed it to be that. We designed it to get people to engage with the world. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And when we sit down and play this, it's different because, I'm used to playing, you have a GM screen or not, but you have a lot of notes in front of you. Mm-hmm. We just play around when we do physically, we just play around a coffee table.
Yeah.
And there's one die in the middle of the coffee table and people have a few, some people keep their characters on their phones. Some people have them in a book. I keep them in a book because I like that.
Yep.
But whatever, there's no character sheet. And you don't forget the other characters, so you don't really need it. You just have a die and you play. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, when I GM, you need a couple of notes or whatever on a thing, but
sure.
Often I'm just flipping cards to work out what happens. You have a general vibe and see what happens.
Yeah, totally.
I'm
using Rando. Yeah. Rando is working great for me for that. So I just use Rando.
Yeah. And I use Rando online, but when I'm at the table, the cards are less, totally invasive than technology.
I don't know how you do that. You'll have to walk me through that at some point because I don't understand how you do that. Because I see you flipping.
Use the cards.
Yeah, you're always. Yeah. I can, and even when I can't see you doing it, I can hear you doing it. I was like, that motherfucker just flipped a card.
Yeah, you've seen the Game Master's Apprentice card. They got a shitload of stuff on them.
There's just too much for me, and it's such small. And I'm old with shitty eyes, so that I can't deal.
There is one I got. I'll dig up what it is. It's just images. Mm-hmm. Anyway, you've got Rando. You don't need that.
Yeah,
you're good to go.
I wrote Rando because I needed my own thing. So
This is
That'd be
us.
great.
We saw all
Yeah.
the things that existed in the world and made our freaking own because we wanted to do it exactly how we wanted it.
Well, like we've done. I know you've done this because I've done this too. Because we're both FKR folk. Come from that ilk, and so like playing FKR games, it's always funny. Like I was playing a game with Halloween, and I was like, and she was using. I don't remember what she was using. Probably like whatever it was, and it was just getting in the way. And she knew it, and I knew it, right? Like we were just like, oh, this just sucks. And then we would change it and that sort of thing. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just like this shit is getting in the way of something I want to do.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Yeah.
It's not that we're not right.
And then,
not right.
And then, sometimes you need shit to get in the road, right? So, like emotions, we use emotions as a mechanical thing, and that's because when we used to play, we didn't bring the character's emotions in enough, and so it's a tool specifically to draw emotions out. And now our characters get emotional all the time, and it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, totally. I totally.
So you need just the tools. Yeah, I was talking to someone in my family about this, and they said they were reading names, and they said what you've done is you've boiled it down to the essence. And I'm like, that's a pretty sweet way to say it. Like it's just the things we need for our style and nothing more.
Yeah, and to me, it's like that's the difference in. Because we were talking about this too, is what we're doing is like a more broader, more zine 2400, which is cool. Great game.
2400 is a cool game, yeah.
Yeah, uses it's very FKR. FKRs love it. But it uses tags, and those just aren't as emotionally rich to me as what I look for in a name. Because like when I'm making a character in our games, it's just like, I want to know what this means. I want to know how this works. And I want to know how that goes, right? Like, and why. And then it gives me some stuff because it's very character driven, right? Like, and that's, it's just immediate interest from everyone. And that's really what 100%. You're talking about, right? Like it's like, I want this game. I'm not going to tell you your emotions because that sucks. But I want you to just play your character and however you would enjoy that.
You need a little bit of encouragement. I love 2400, 24XX or 2400. It's a great system, but it has one problem that I cannot get over to from my perspective. Yeah. So there's the thing in play where there's a role to be called for, right? Time to make a roll. Okay. And so it's make a roll, and then someone goes, what's my strength?
Yep, right back to the character sheet.
Right back to the character sheet. And in 24XX, what they do is it's what size die do I need to roll, right? And I get that, and it's powerful, and people who want to do that, that's good. But this is one thing Name does that I really like. You just pick up the die and roll.
Yeah.
Right? And that means this thing Vincent Baker talks about, you're having a conversation and you duck out to the mechanics and you duck back in. You duck out fast. You're out fast and potentially in fast, unless you want to re-roll. But re-rolls, I thought re-rolls wouldn't work, and they are love
for
them
your
because
game, absolutely.
Not for everyone, but because you linger in the failure.
No, totally. But your game is different than my game, right? Like yours,
100%.
Yours is a roller coaster, and man, does that work great.
Yeah.
But like in mine, it's way more sedate and shoegazy. So like, I didn't want that. I don't. But that does bring up I do like the like Devil's Bargain A is like when we play you're named, you're just like, well, you can always choose that, right? Which is crazy.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah.
And but that's your game, right? Like it's like boom, 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 boom. You're just on are on a roller coaster in your game. And in mine, it's like I I couldn't do that every time, even though that is like, that's what you want. You want that in my game. It's a 4, right? Like you want that 4.
Yeah.
Cause then here's the, dude, tell me how this is going to work. Right. Like,
yeah.
but I like,
And
how
we did change the rules slightly as we evolved. So it used to be, yes, you could have devil bugs anytime you want. And now we have it, you can only have it before you roll or if you roll that 4.
Right. Okay.
Because
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, either before or because what would happen is people would get, they'd be sitting on 4 skulls and go, "I'll have a bargain."
Yeah.
So with the re-rolls, you can't. Nope, you can't do that anymore. Once you pick the die, once you roll the die, unless you roll a devil's bargain, you can't have that. Yeah,
exactly right. I do the same thing with help. You can't help for a roll. Like you can't. I don't want. I'm just gonna help. Like in D&D, right? Nope.
Yeah.
And it's just like the fiction, right? Like, oh Jesus, I just fucked this up. Somebody help. That's what you do, and then really you're just dragging someone else down with you, probably.
100%. And that do I get involved? Yeah, like so. Yeah. Literally, when my character was, fighting that samurai. There was another character standing next to me going, I could get involved. I've got a spear. I could come over and I'm go, do not come over here. I am sitting on so many skulls. We're going to get murdered and this is going to be campaign ending. Do not fucking come over here. We're going to die.
I want to play in the game. I can't wait for the game where like someone asks for help in my game and the other person's like, nope, fuck you.
Nope. Yeah. We definitely have that. Nope. Not helping you. I'm not getting involved in that. What have you got yourself into? I'm not going over there.
Not happening. It's super good.
Not happening.
But that's how it would happen, right? Yeah. Like you're like, oh, I'm failing. Help, right? Like that's just the way it should go.
And I think this is the thing, right? And I know your tool set's the same. It's very hard to explain the complexity. Like, so I think someone emailed me or messaged me one day and said, I've just realized that on the first die roll, you can't roll 3 skulls and die. And I'm like, yep, by design,
Yep.
By design, you are choosing to die. You always, the first die roll, never, no chance of death unless you are, unless you're buying into that, yeah. And it's very hard to explain the 50 things that are down in these like 3 freaking rules. But yeah.
Well, also, that's something in our, like your rules were very dense. It was hard to get a hold of them until I played in the game. But then it was like, got it. And that's the same with mine. Like you can read the rule and you're like, well, this is not my rules, but like they're kind of dense specifically on purpose, right? Like
this is why I wrote two versions, right? The short version, which is just do these things and play.
Yeah.
But then, I mentioned that I was writing a long version and Paulo's like, I want a copy. And I'm like, okay, I guess. But then it became a thing. And it's good because I still pick it up and go, I'm doing a horror game. What do I need to remember? And flip to that page and go, okay, and put it down. And so I still use it as a resource, but it's a resource. You don't follow it word for word. It's a concept. Do whatever you think works for you. Yeah.
But it's basically like you have kind of what I am envisioning for me, and because I talk about it, I blog about it, right? Like it's basically a game, and then shit I say about it in the blog form, right? And so like when I'm stuck on a thing, I'll pick up Named because I have the print copy, even though I think I've opened it 3 times. I'm an electronic guy. So, but like, I'll go through there and see, all right, like, what did Wightbred do for this shit? Like, like magic, you use the words thing, and like, that's the classic. And that's better than a lot of the stuff, right? Like, that's going to get you a long way. But I wanted something more in depth.
It's not quite perfect. You still have words, which are resources. So it's kind of a meta currency, but it's the best I could come up with at the time. Yeah.
Also, so short.
Feel-
Like if
Mm.
if you're playing around a campfire, you're like, fuck this. No one's reading the thing. Just like, pick some
No.
words. Remember, it's maze rats and
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I think the other thing about the words is that it does what you when you're using it. It's like, how am I going to use this word?
Yeah.
And it's creating creative magical effects from it. That's one of the benefits.
You'll be shocked to know that
there's got to.
That's how I stole. Yeah, using the world is exactly the
Totally.
same, and that's the beauty of that. I think all of a sudden I'm bleeding somehow. But yeah.
Oh, you're right. Do you need to fill that?
No. It was just like, I don't know what it was. I'm fine. But yes, the whole point of magic that feels magical is exactly that. It's like, it's got to be a little creative, right?
Yeah.
And it numbers, no spell slots, spells even. Like I have been like, for me, like during this play I was doing, I'm like, cool. You and I were talking about before we got on. I'm always like, can I just throw a fireball? And I don't want to, right? Like that's the worst.
Yeah.
Like, but that's always the thing. You were like, I want to throw a fireball, but you can't because it doesn't work, right? Like a human won't burn like that. Like and it's just like, so a little bit of is you're using the world, things in the world, and asking them to do stuff, but you can't break the physics, quote unquote, like obviously you do.
Yeah.
But like the basic, flesh doesn't burn that quickly, right? Like unless something is burning it, and like
and this is part of the problem too. You had that phrase, I think it's Arthur C. Clarke, any science sufficiently advanced seems like magic or something. That's not the exact word, but it's the vibe. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
But I think the corollary is the challenge, right? Any magic that you define in too much detail becomes science, and it's boring when it should be magical.
Totally. But then when I create a thing, like when I would like, that becomes a spell, right? Like once you're like, I'm going to use mud to suck this person into the earth, you're like, well, that's a spell.
Yeah.
Right. Like
that's a spell.
So I can come back to that.
Yeah.
So I'm just naturally creating my own spell
evolving
list.
and growing. Yeah. Good. That is good. Do we want to do reflections?
Yeah, let's do it.
On
because I'm almost. We're going to see Nico Case tonight. So.
Oh yeah. Well, you better maybe we should hold that for next time because we've got a lot already, haven't we? Al?
Well, we got 10 minutes of reflections, right? Probably a lot more. Go ahead.
I think we got more. No, we got more. Let's hold it. We'll do it next time.
Okay. How long have we been recording?
It could be an hour, I think.
It is an hour.
Yeah, I think that's pretty sweet.
So we literally didn't really talk about podcasting at all. We really did just like do the fucking game where it's like, podcast. Pirates, right? Like, oh, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
And so now maybe instead of reflections, we should be like, yeah, what do you think? Like this is how I expected it to be. Let's
just catch up and do convos. And if other people want to join in, let's let them.
Yeah, totally. And I remember I laughed at you because you're like, well, yeah, what are we going to talk about? And I was like, bro, we don't have that problem. We have the other problem, man.
We do not have that problem.
I am
we do not
blabby,
have that problem.
as are you, right? Like, and we could talk about this forever because I'm curious about it because like so many people, like so many people are playing so many of these games and they always have these questions. So I'm like, I mean, you could just do it like this. And once you get to that point where you just give yourself permission to play the game you want to play, it all works.
It's your game. It's your conversation. Do it. Yeah.
Rule zero, man. That's it. That's why I like
Rule
zero.
Yeah. Just play. Mm-hmm. Yeah. These people, I don't know, I was on Reddit just before and everyone's like, oh, what system would you use for such and such? Just go and play. Yeah, man. Just grab something and play.
I mean, a lot of
it doesn't matter.
oftentimes they're talking about that because they just want to plug the game. Like, and that's why you get so many responses to those
true.
things. Everyone is plugging their game. It's like,
yeah, but everyone's just. There's a problem with Reddit. It's just a whole bunch of people shouting at each other what their idea is, and there's very few conversations like actually happening. Like I tried to spark something on that post the other day, and 645 views.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
5 upvotes, 1 comment from you.
But you know what? So, I mean,
well, there's a lot of conversations on Discord, right? But that doesn't help new people who are new to the style to go, hey, what could I do? How could I do things? Like, yeah, they then have to go and join the Discord, and Discord isn't sorted in a way that allows you to find how do I do basic 101s or whatever,
Totally. But, and my dysfunction with social media for sure. But like Reddit's the only one I like. And I think it's because it is so rando. Like there's no authoritative.
You don't know what you're going to get. Yeah.
Yeah. And usually
lots of noise. Lots of noise, but sometimes gold. Yeah.
And I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Because it'll come from anyone and you won't know who they are and you'll never see them again.
Yeah.
And it is very random.
Yeah.
And I do love Reddit.
Yeah.
And that's really the only.
I'm not quitting Reddit anytime soon. I'd like to get on Reddit, see what's going on. I don't post a lot, but I do comment a bit. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, and I that's the one I stick to only because of that. It's like no one's in charge there. It's just like
and it's I like it better than the forums because
same.
Again, anything I think what it is. It's because it's an open field, whereas everything else feels a little bit closed.
Exactly. And no one's in charge. There's mods. But you never see them. Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I don't think I ever want to meet a mod in real life.
No. It's like being pulled over by a cop. You just don't want that to happen. It doesn't matter if it's.
I'm happy they're out there, but I just don't.
But I don't want to interact with them. We need them, I guess, but I don't want to interact with them. Don't call me moderator.
Totally.